You finally escaped the suffocating fluorescent hum of the office. But now the silence is starting to scream. We are told constantly that total autonomy is the ultimate prize. That if you just work hard enough, brave enough, sacrifice enough, you will earn your freedom. Nobody warns you about what freedom actually sounds like when you are the only one in the room. That champagne you have been dreaming of. The bottle you promised yourself you would open the day you finally made it. When you reach the top alone, it tastes like cold iron. This video is about the quiet loneliness of success that nobody posts about on social media. The hidden psychological price of leaving the rat race. The truth that the higher you climb on your own, the further away the rest of the world feels. I have never said this out loud before. But it is time. The first morning I didn't have to commute anywhere. I remember standing in my kitchen thinking, this is it. This is what I worked for. No alarm forcing me out of bed. No fluorescent lights waiting to drain the life out of me. No open plan office humming with the low-grade anxiety of 40 people pretending to be productive. Just me. My space. My time. For about 3 weeks, it felt like paradise. Then something strange started happening. The silence, which had felt like relief, began to feel like something else. Something heavier. I started leaving the TV on just to hear voices. I started timing my coffee runs to coincide with the morning rush just to stand in a line of people for a few minutes. I checked my phone compulsively, not for opportunities, but just to feel the vibration of another human being acknowledging that I existed. Here is what nobody tells you about leaving the office: the noise you hated, the interruptions, the small talk, the colleague who microwaved fish every single Friday. That noise was doing something for you that you didn't understand until it was gone. It was telling you, every single day, without words, you are here. You are part of something. You are not alone. When you work alone, nobody tells you that anymore. And the silence that moves in to replace it is not peaceful. It is loud in a way that no notification can drown out. Let me tell you about the day I hit my first major milestone. I had been working toward a specific number for 18 months. A number that represented to me proof that this had all been worth it. That the risk was right. That I had made it. The day it happened, I was sitting at my desk alone. My phone showed me the notification. I stared at it for a long time. Then I got up, made a coffee, sat back down, and kept working. There was nobody to tell. Nobody to turn to and say, "Did you see that?" We did it. I called a friend. They said, "That's amazing," and then told me about a problem they were having at their office. I texted my family. They reacted with the appropriate emojis. And then I sat back in the silence of my home office and felt something I was completely unprepared for. Empty, not ungrateful. Not depressed, just empty. Because here is the psychological truth about achievement that nobody in the entrepreneurship space will say out loud: victories require witnesses to feel real. Human beings are not wired to celebrate alone. We are wired for shared experience. The joy of winning is not just about the win, it is about turning to someone who was in the trenches with you and seeing the moment reflected back in their eyes. When there is nobody in the trenches, the win lands differently. It lands like cold iron. At some point on this path, you will notice a gap opening up between you and the people you used to feel closest to. It starts small. A dinner where you realize you have nothing to contribute to the conversation about office politics. A group chat where the complaints about managers and Monday mornings feel like dispatches from a country you no longer live in. You try to relate. You remember what it felt like. But the truth is you are operating on a completely different clock now. Your friends are structured around the 9 to 5. Weekends mean something different to them. Evenings are sacred in a way they are not for you. And your problems, the real ones, are impossible to explain to someone who has never had them. Try telling a friend who is stressed about their annual review that you are struggling with the psychological weight of making every single decision alone with no safety net. They will not. They will try. But there is a ceiling to how far that empathy can reach. And slowly, without anyone meaning for it to happen, the gap widens. You are not better than them. They are not lesser than you. You have simply diverged. And divergence, when it happens to your closest relationships, is its own quiet kind of grief. Because at some point you face a choice that nobody prepares you for. Do you slow down to stay connected? Or do you keep climbing and accept the growing distance? Most people on this path choose to keep climbing, and then wonder why the view from the top feels so lonely. So you do what everyone does. You go online. You build a presence. You grow an audience. You engage with comments and reply to DMs and show up consistently in the feeds of people who have chosen to follow your journey. And it works in a way. The numbers grow. The reach expands. People tell you that your content changed something for them. Strangers feel like they know you. But here is the thing about being known by thousands of people who have never sat across a table from you. It does not feel like connection. It feels like being observed. There is a profound difference between being seen and being known, between having an audience and having a person. A shared lunch break with one colleague who genuinely likes you does more for your nervous system than 10,000 likes from people who love your highlight reel. And the cruelest part? The more successful you become online, the less honest you can afford to be. Because the brand requires a certain performance. The audience has an expectation. And somewhere along the way, the curated version of you starts crowding out the real one. You cannot post about the Sunday evening dread. You cannot be honest about the weeks where the isolation makes it hard to think clearly. So you perform wellness. You post the wins. You smile for the content. And the real you sits behind the screen, more invisible than ever. So what do we do with all of this? I have spent a long time sitting with these questions, and I want to offer you not a solution but a reframe. We have been measuring success wrong. The model we inherited, the one that says success means independence, autonomy, freedom from reliance on others, is incomplete. It gets you out of the cage. But it does not tell you what to build once you are free. The research on human flourishing is remarkably consistent. The quality of our relationships is the single strongest predictor of long-term happiness. Not achievement, not income, not autonomy, relationships. So here is the reframe I am proposing. Stop treating community as a reward for success. Start treating it as a component of success. This means being intentional about building a support system that actually understands the specific weight of the path you are on. Not people who will nod politely at your problems, but people who are living versions of the same questions. Founders.creators. Freelancers.outliers. It means creating rituals of shared experience, not just transactional networking, but genuine, witnessed, human moments. A weekly call with someone who gets it. A mastermind that feels more like a family than a strategy session. A dinner where nobody performs and everybody is honest. And it means letting people into the real narrative, not just the highlight reel. Because here is the truth. The victory that has no witnesses is not really a victory. It is just an event. The milestone becomes a memory when someone else remembers it with you. You did not leave the office to be alone. You left to be free. And real freedom, the kind that actually feels like something is only possible in the presence of people who know you. If this video put words to something you have been feeling but couldn't say, share it. Not for the algorithm, for the person in your life who is climbing alone and doesn't know how to ask for help. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about the parts of this journey that don't make the highlight reel. And leave a comment. Tell me honestly, has success ever made you feel more alone? I want to know I'm not the only one. I'll see you in the next one.